Hi, welcome back. I'm a boy who knits. I know I've been terrible at what I had intended to be fortnightly check-ins, but I have at least been really productive since the last episode. There's been a lot going on, not just craft-wise, but also in the real world as well. Yeah, PhD is reaching the pointy end right now, so I've been focusing a lot on that, which is good. But obviously, the more work you do, the more craft time you need, because looking after yourself is really important. So my primary project, let's jump straight in. Primary project is the capelet, cable capelet. You'll see it's getting there. I'm making progress. I'm probably about halfway through, a bit over halfway through now. So that's been really great. Yeah, kind of plugging along while my fiance and I were at the Ekka, which is the Brisbane Royal Show. Picked up this little Charlie Brown bag, $5. It's beautiful. It's fabric. It's actually reversible as well. The inside is like flowers, if you can see that. Yeah, I don't like it as much, but I love Charlie Brown. So I saw that and it was $5 and I just had to have it. So my other kind of thing that I was officially working on is a Mobius scarf, which I finally finished. So there's that. Look, it's in a horrible acrylic. I will probably never wear it. But I have it. It's done. I can give it to somebody, I guess. It's just kind of going in the box. I now have a box of things that I'm finishing. This one was so close. It was literally like half cast off. The hilarious thing about it is that you can tell exactly where I put it down and where I picked it up, because in the years between me putting it down and picking it up, my knitting skills significantly improved. And so you can see, it's really hard to see on the video. Let me see if I can throw a bit of light on it. But you can see on one side there, the tension's being really dodgy, and then on the other side there, the tension being really nice, and that's where I started and picked it up again. So, yeah, so it was nice to see that I am actually improving, albeit over like 10 years, I think, since I put that down. I didn't have a chance to make another video to set myself another unfinished project to finish. So I just kind of grabbed something out of the box, which was another one of these hats. It's made of wool. There are actually some faults in it because it has been sitting around for so long that it was really cheap wool and has deteriorated. But that is now finished. You can see there's a hole in it here that I have to fix. But yeah, it was really quick, actually. This Tychus pattern, I loved it when I picked it up. I still love it. It's still my go-to beanie pattern. So yeah, so as a kind of quick mindless knit, this has been really great because I can just sit and do it while chatting and not having to think about anything. The problem with all the cable patterns is that they're so complex that you have to think about them. I also, ages ago, had started one of these scarves. I don't know if you can see the light on again. One of these. So basically the yarn of this is like a thin yarn with these little bobbles on it, little pom-poms. It's awful and acrylic and disgusting, but I was like halfway through it and was like, well, I really don't want to frog it, but I'm not sure I could be bothered finishing it, so it had just sat there. I finally finished it. It took me about 45 minutes because it turns out I'm a much quicker knitter than I used to be. And so, yeah, it was very quick. And it's done. And it's now a scarf that, again, I will never wear. So it's going in my box of finished objects. I will probably at some point find a clothing swap or something like that I can take it along to, and we'll take it from there. So that's all the things that I've finished. It's been really productive. I wanted to kind of knock over another couple of unfinished things today as well. So we'll get to that in a bit. But first, I wanted to have a chat about like the things which have been going on So our Stitch and Bitch at our place has been going gangbusters. It's been going really, really well. People seem to love it and are loving coming along, and I'm really enjoying having people around and having people to craft with, so that's been really great. I've also kind of kicked up my membership of the Queensland Spinners, Weavers and Fibre Artists, which is our local fibre arts kind of group. They own their own building in Auckland Flower here in Brisbane, and I used to go to their Wednesday night owls and didn't for a long time because life got in the way, and I've started going again, and I'm really enjoying it. I loved it. I took my fiance this last week, and he signed up as well. So he took his bob and lace and made bob and lace, and I took my knitting, and we just talked to people and hung out and crafted, and it was really, really lovely. So we may not get there every week, but we're hoping once a fortnight. And I think it's just really like reinforced for me how important it is to have community around you, and how really important crafting can be, especially when you're surrounded by people and you're using it as a way to engage with people. And so, I know a lot of people out there don't necessarily have kind of communities of crafters around them, but if you can build one, like we're doing with the Stitch and Bitch, if you can join an existing craft circle, check Ravelry, see what's out there, it can be really amazing and really good for, it's good for the soul, it's good for the heart. It's a great way to get out there in the community and actually meet some people, and people who you wouldn't necessarily meet otherwise, which has been really, really great. So yeah, that's my kind of, I just wanted to cheer for community this week, because community has been amazing and really excellent. Now, let's go to some unfinished objects. I have 5 or 6 of them because I have a feeling that most of them won't get finished. Right. The problem I had is that I would put 2 things into a bag and they would get horribly tangled. And so this pink and this green are 2 different projects. Alright, so there we go. This is now untangled. So this pink is a random piece of moss stitch. It's a hot pink. What is that? Just an acrylic? Yep, 100% polyester. It's not the most disgusting acrylic I've ever held in my life, but it's still pretty gross. So I don't see the point in keeping 1.5 inches or 2 inches of hot pink moss stitch. So off the needles back into my stash, and I'm just gonna wind this one by hand. Okay, so there is one ball of hot pink acrylic yarn. Now, I hate working in those cheapy acrylics, but they are useful to keep around. I've found at the moment the Australian Wool Memorial are doing a call out for knitted and crocheted poppies, and so they want things obviously in red with dark centers. And I've pulled out kind of a lot of my really awful acrylic, fire engine red, and we'll probably be using some of that to make poppies, because I think it's an important thing to do. And also, they're really quick to crochet up, incredibly fast as a project. So I try and keep the acrylics around for that. They're also really good for giving people to learn on, because some people get nervous about using expensive yarns, which I can totally understand. Now, this green, I have no idea what this yarn actually is. It feels like a tencel. acrylic or something like that, like a soft acrylic. I was using it to make a hat, like a tam thing. The stitch on the side is really nice. It's an alternating front post, back post by the look of it. Front post double, back post double. There's double in the American, not double in the English. And the problem with it is that it's way too big. Like, I have a huge head, and it's like tam sized. It's like right out over my head. I would need the center to be like several inches or like less in diameter than that for it to fit. So I'm thinking I'm just going to recycle the yarn. The ball that I've got is kind of floppy and messy, so I'm going to rewind it from the outside of the ball, and then from there I will use that to then unwind the project as well. So we'll see how this goes. Okay, that's not supposed to happen. I was turning it back to front. Let that be a lesson to you. And a lesson to me. I didn't realize that could happen. I've also strapped this on a piece of plastic because I was hoping it would protect the table, but it's just slipping. So, take the plastic out. Firm that back up. All right, let's try again. Okay, so apparently while I was doing that, normally I would record it and then speed it up and it would be really cool. And apparently while I did it, my camera stopped recording. You didn't miss much, I promise. Just an awful lot of me dealing with tangles and winding a ball winder. But there is a beautiful cake of what I can only assume is some kind of halfway decent acrylic yarn. Or, as I say, it feels like a tencel, so we'll see what that is. I have no way of telling what that is. So we won't see what it is, we'll just let it be. Alright, next. Oh, now here's one I might actually finish. So, I do love it when I leave the crochet hook in the project. So this is a ripple scarf, it looks like, yes, with the yarn being carried up the side in stripes. It's very cute. Crochet project done in Peyton's Big Baby, which is, again, it's 60% acrylic, 40% nylon, but it's really soft and really nice. So I think I might actually finish that one. Looks like, I have no idea, but we'll figure it out. So, but it's just a ripple pattern, so that should be pretty easy. So it's kind of double crochets and crochet two togethers and all that stuff. So yeah, so I might put that aside as a project to actually get finished. That's exciting. Right, what else have we got? Okay. Giant pink thing. Oh, again, there's two projects in here. We'll put that aside for now. So, giant pink thing. What is this, a blanket? I have no idea what this is. It looks like just a giant double crochet thing, except I've added an extra piece for shaping, but I don't know what I was shaping. Possibly was a top of some description, maybe, or something. I don't know. That said, I mean, it's a good width. There's still a chunk of yarn left. It's just in crochet cotton. So what I'm thinking I might do is pull out this this section, this random shaping section, and then actually turn it into a blanket. So keep it going rectangular. Yeah, it's just done in double crochet, so it's not like it's complicated to continue. I just wish I knew what I had intended that to be, because I have no idea. But there we go. There is all of the shaping pulled out, and another row started, so I will put that aside to continue and finish up. And finally, this is back into my, like, the days I was really into crochet. Now I'm still really into crochet. I'm not saying that I'm not anymore, but okay, so no hook, which is annoying, but again, this looks like it's just straight double crochet, black and, no, it's like blue and navy. It's like blue and darker blue. But by the look of it, I've run out of the navy, and it's a scarf. So what I might have to do is I'll have to see whether I have enough navy to finish that row. I don't think I will, but I might pull it out and pull it out back to the beginning of that row and just snip it off, and it can be a narrow scarf, I think. And then I've got all of this extra, like, random kind of navy, royal blue kind of left over, which I'm sure will be useful for something else. But yeah, so there's that'll be something which will be relatively quick to finish, if I can find an appropriately sized crochet hook. And I mean, for these, it's about a 5mm crochet hook, and I have dozens of those floating around. So yeah, so there's like 3 projects, all crochet, which will be fun to keep going with and to finish as I'm working on my or the knitted capelet for my friend, and 2 projects pulled out. So I would say that is a good day, a good to go on with. I will try not to leave it quite so long between drinks, but look, crochet projects generally are pretty quick to finish up, so hopefully I'll have some more finished objects. Ugh. I don't know what's going on with my camera at the moment, but it keeps dropping out. But I'll wrap up. So that's, I think, everything for today. I've got 2 projects pulled out, 3 to finish up and turn into something which will go in the box of finished objects. Aside from that, I think that's everything for today. So until next time, I'm a boy who knits. Go and find a project that makes you happy and do it. Spend all of your time doing it, because craft is amazing and wonderful and good for the soul. So yes, until next time, I'm a boy who knits. I'll see you next time.